Thank you. Fall is here, and for many, it's a welcome spooky season. That's certainly so for New York Times bestselling author Chuck Wendig.
And his new book is centered around an evil apple orchard, and it's set to go on sale next week. And I spoke with him this week.
Jinky.
I started tasting them, and I'm like, these taste nothing like any apple I've ever had before.
Walking through Solebury orchards and picking apples with author Chuck Wendig is this season's nefarious task. Would this be a good representation of the ruby red?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got that nice blood red sheen.
The fictional apple, Ruby Red Slipper, is at the core of
Ziggy
the
is
Bucks
available
County
for
native's
adoption
new
through
horror
Feline
tale,
Urban Rescue and
Black
Rehab
River
if you
Orchard.
like
A
her.
tale of temptation and woe in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Orchard grows strange, magical apples, and it gives people everything they want. It turns them better than they've ever been, but at a cost. And the town sees the struggle and the suffering from doing that.
Wendig, who grew up near New Hope, has a long list of New York Times best-selling books based in horror.
What is it about this genre that attracts you so much?
You don't always have to say the thing that you want to talk about. You can talk around it. Monsters and fear and all that stuff becomes a great metaphor for things, but also just, I like scaring the heck out of people.
And Black River Orchard is set within eastern Bucks County, and the 47-year-old often uses the area's folklore as seed to create what he calls an alternative universe that locals can find appealing.
I grew up on a farm in this area, so I sort of got to watch the area grow up more and become more suburban instead of rural, and to watch that struggle happen. That's something that's kind of in the book, too.
As well as a minor character watchers of WFMZ may recognize. A scary idea, indeed.
The evil apple, yeah.
And Black River Orchard is out September 26th. And Chuck Wendig is one of 9 authors heading over to the bookstore The End over the next 2 weeks for a literary series.
Yeah, joining us now are authors Bob Bamer and illustrator Joe Schwartz and Jim Hess at the End Bookstore. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Well, Bob, and Chuck just talked about it, like, he writes about areas that he knows in a lot of his books, which is that kind of eastern Bucks County. And your series, your children's series, is based in Emmaus.
It's correct.
Where you're from.
Yes, the series takes place, although the settings in Emmaus, hopefully the story is relevant for anybody, anywhere, in any town. But since Emmaus is such a historic little village that and has a lot of places that I can focus on and wrap a story around, that's my emphasis, is to build the stories in the historic locations.
And it's a children's book, and it's based on very intelligent mice who are uncovering a secret to the town.
It's a burrow inside a burrow.
Oh.
So, and the mice, because Emmaus naming has always been somewhat of a local folklore, but with my twist on it, a mouse is German. M-A-U-S is German for mouse, so it seemed like I could do the mice society based on a hero that is E.M. Mouse, and every generation of mice has an E.M. Mouse, from the very first mouse that brought the Moravians to Emmaus, which was Ensign Mariner Mouse, to today's.
So, and it's going to be a whole series. So this is one of 6 hopeful books.
Yes.
And Joe, you're also kind of in this children's world.
Yes.
This is Echo City Capers. You're the illustrator for that. This is really kind of based for kids about 3 to 6.
Yeah, well, we have 2 products. We have Echo City Capers Junior, which is for ages 3 to 6, and then we have just regular Echo City Capers that we have books for 7 and up.
And what's the whole crux of it? Yeah.
Most of the books are for the hero Nightbat and these bumbling baddies that we call, and which is written also by my friend, high school graduate that we know, Ralph Greco. And together we came up with these slapsticky type of funny type of humorous, capers.
Capers for kids. Perfect.
Yes.
And Jim, this is like, so you guys hosting this event today, which is at 4:30 at the End Bookstore, which is the corner of Cedar Crest and Tillman. You're going to have Chuck Wendig in a couple weeks. So the wide range, you have the children's authors today, then you have a more adult horror author as well. And this is just a way for people just to get to meet people who write books?
Absolutely. We have a wonderful community of artists and authors in the Lehigh Valley and close by. We work hard to try and give them the opportunity to reach out to the community, share what they do, and we've got some wonderful books, and people can come and enjoy, whether they're bringing their kids or coming themselves for the horror novel.
I know, it's amazing, the local talent that's here.
What do you guys like about meeting with people who have read your books or who just want to ask you questions about why should I read your book?
Well, we do a lot of elementary schools. I'm from Easton, so it's fun to interact with the students. And I usually after every session, they would draw with me, so they get a big kick out of it. And Ralph writes a lot of the songs, so we sing about the books instead of reading them. So we really get a good rapport with the students and the teachers.
And I was a teacher for 38 years and been retired for 12 already. Can't believe it, but this is a kind of a fun way of still touching base with the kids and teaching them a little bit about local history and integrating the art.
And it's so important to get young kids to start reading early, because once you start doing it, you can't stop.
I think it's cool, too, that the books are based here in Emmaus. That's fun for kids to read about. Like, I know that area.
Well, even some of the adults don't know of the local, like the first book takes place in Guy's Acre. It's the first cemetery in Emmaus. And just last week, I had a person that lived in Emmaus their entire life and said, I didn't realize that there was a cemetery down there. So it's not only touching the kids, it's also actually introducing some of the adults to the local historic areas.
Well, today at 4:30 at the Inn Bookstore, which is, again, the corner of Tillman and Cedar Crest, you guys are going to be there.
Yep.
And, Jim, you have the next several weeks, you have 7 more authors coming in all the way from today, and I think you wrap up on October 5th. So thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back.
Finally.